So many dumb people. I had a woman pull onto the forecourt with the bonnet of her car smoking. I was on my own at the time but shot out from behind the till and out the door with the fire extinguisher within seconds. Shouted at her not to open her bonnet. Conversation went a little something like this. "Please tell me that's steam." "Oh no, it's smoke." "I know here probably wasn't the best place to stop." "Not the best? You picked the absolute worst. Get back in your car, get off the forecourt." "OMG, there's no need to be so rude. Drive up the fucking road, I'll call the fire brigade. When you get back he will give you head office's number and you can tell them all about the shockingly rude cashier that told you to move your smoking car from things that can go boom boom." Woman could not fathom just how much danger she had put people in until the firefighters showed up. Also a lot of heroin addicts shooting up in the bathrooms. Do not miss that. I worked the midnight shifts at my gas station and we got a bonus if we sold something from the snack counter. This dude comes in high as balls at 2 in the morning and I knew my time to shine was here. Everyone was recently going batshit over those Hershey's caramel cookie layer crunch bars, so I hold him up and tell him he needs it. I promised him he would love it and told him I eat like 5 a shift, which was a lie. I only ate 2 a shift. Dude asks what would happen if he didn't like it and I told him he could personally bring it back and I'd finish it off in front of him. He buys the chocolate and heads off into the night. Dude returns an hour later looking a little disappointed and ashamed, so I ask him if he didn't like the bar. "Nah fam, I just want another." But he went on an hour journey just to get a second bar. Never saw him again though. I'll tell you a funny story about something that happened to me, a patron, at a gas station. I was buying worms for fishing, 2-stroke motor oil for my little John boat motor, and condoms since my lady at the time was coming with me to the lake cabin. It's midday and the clerk looks at me and says, "That's an interesting lunch." I think she was talking about the worms, but the guy behind me couldn't help but chuckle. I'm pretty sure I was about 7 or 8. We were on our way from church in the family van, just me, my mom and my older brother. We had stopped to fill up and my brother gets out to pump while my mom goes inside to pay. Me being the not-so-smart rebellious child I was, decided it was a good idea to get out and climb up the ladder on the back of the van. Not gonna lie, it was fun. For about 10 seconds. Then the van started to move and picked up to about 30 miles per hour. That's when I started slipping off. Thankfully my mom heard me taping at the back window and pulled over immediately. Pretty sure she was having a mental breakdown while I was still full of adrenaline and not taking it seriously at all. Again, not the smartest kid, but I definitely learned from it. Kind of. Not really. I worked at a Shell's gas station and was ringing this guy up on Lotto when I looked up and there was an elephant walking down the middle of the busy one-way street with the police car following her. Ears just a-flapping as she walked lol. She escaped the circus. She got brought back safely and nobody was hurt including her during her walk around town. Haha. I was sitting in my car, waiting for my dad to finish filling the tank, and suddenly a random guy, definitely driving over the limit, straight into the fueling area and barely misses my dad, and the fucker must have missed the brakes or something because he slowed down and then started flying, in his car of course, out of the other side of the area and into the lawn of one of the near houses. We were driving to Tennessee so we were on the road late into the night and had stopped so my brother's so's daughter could use the restroom. Her and her mom get down and I notice cops are talking to a couple drunk people outside of the station, and then all of a sudden all the lights flash and go out. Could hear the daughters scream in fear from the car and it startled the cops and group of people. Funniest shit that happened all night. Oh man, this story is probably a lot better in my head, but here it goes. My buddy and I were like 14 and we walked to a gas station near our house to buy soda and chips like 14-year-olds do. The guy who worked there, this was some really small shitty gas station, asked us when we went to check out, "Have y'all ever had balls?" "Oh. What?" "You know, balls points to blue bottles. The energy drink." We were like, "I know, is it good?" etc. Proceeded to pay and we're on our way. To this day the random gas station employee asking me and my buddy if we ever had balls still sticks with me. I was working the night shift once, and around 1 to 2 a.m., this kid, probably around 14, comes in. He smelled really strongly like bleach. I watched him pace around for 2 minutes, before buying a banana and leaving. I told my manager next time I saw him, and she checked the cameras to make sure I wasn't insane. It did. Pulled into a gas station on the Reese near Gallup, New Mexico. When I went inside it was empty, so I grabbed a few Red Bulls and walked to the counter. I looked down behind the counter and the cashier was sitting on a bucket, had another bucket between his knees and his arms were covered in blood from the elbows down. Fucking dude stood up, held out a carcass and asked me if I wanted to buy a fox belt. He was legit scanning a fox in a bucket. I told him I was all good and paid for my stuff.